Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hi everyone. So today's agenda is we have a group presentation, which is me and my group have a task to do a presentation. Okay. So the topic that we do is types of workplace communication. Okay. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, so before we go through about this presentation, I would like to introduce my group members, which is it consists of 3 group members. And the first is we have Muhammad Syahir bin Mazrizal, and also second we have myself, Edris Maliq bin Saiful Malek, and lastly we have Ahmad Baihaqi. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Alright, so the first thing that you guys have to know about this presentation is I would like to tell about what is communication is. Communication is basically the process of sharing information between 2 or more people so that everyone can understand the same message. So when it happens? It happens when a sender delivers a message through a certain channel. The receiver interprets and gives the feedback, okay, to the sender. Alright, in simple terms, okay, we have to know that communication only works when the message is clearly sent accurately, okay, accurately received and properly understood. Okay, and also we have an example for this slide. Okay, a complete communication process. Okay, the first thing is a complete communication process include several key elements. We have 6 elements in the communication. So the first is the sender. What is this? What is the sender? The sender is who start the message, and we have secondly we have the message. The message, which is the idea or information being shared, and the third is the channel. The channel like a medium like speaking, writing, or visual. And we have the receiver. Receiver is who get the message, and when we have a receiver, we need a feedback from the message, so which show whether the message was understood or not. And also the lastly we have noise, okay, which is anything that disrupt communication, like distraction, unclear wording, or language barriers. Okay, so the main purpose of communication is we need to know is to exchange information, give instruction, solve problem, and build relationship between people. So that's all that about what is communication is. Okay, so we will move on to the next slide. Okay, so the next slide, okay, it tell about the function of communication in organization. So the first thing is communication plays a very important role in organization, as we know, right? So in generally serve 4 function that we need to know, okay, and I will tell for you guys. Okay, the first one is informational function. What is informational function is? This is about sharing accurate, timely information. Employees get updates, instruction policies, or report that help them understand what we need to be done. Without proper information, work become chaotic. Okay, and the second function is motivational function. So what is motivational function is? It is about communication can motivate employees. Alright, so managers use praise, recognition, or maybe constructive feedback to inspire their teams. This is very important in a communication. Okay, when people feel valued, they contribute more willingly. Okay, last but not least, the function about control function. So control function also is very important because communication ensure rules, procedures, and standards are followed. This is include reminders about policies, performer reviews, or disciplinary message. So why it's very important? Because it helps maintain order and consistency within the organization. Okay, and the lastly about function is we have emotional, or maybe in other word expressive function. Okay, So this allows people to express feelings, share concern, and build relationships. Okay, open communication can reduce stress, strengthen teamwork, and create a positive work environment. And this is very important in a employees environment. Okay, so when you being a manager or HR, you need to have these 4 function. Okay, so that's all. We will move to the next slide. Okay, so this is the last part of mine. So next, I would like to tell you guys what is non-verbal communication. Okay, non-verbal communication is all the ways we send a message without using words. Okay, sometimes these signals are even more powerful than what we say verbally. Okay, for example that I can give is include like facial expressions, body language and gesture, tone of voice, okay, and eye contact, personal space, and also the lastly is appearance. So yeah, and then about non-verbal communication is non-verbal cues help convey emotions, attitudes, and intentions. Okay, is it they can support? Yes, they can support what we say, contradict it, or provide extra meaning. In many situations, in many situations, people are often trust non-verbal signal more than words. Okay, so yeah, that's all from me, and I will pass to the next presenter to continue this presentation. Okay, and I'm sorry for everything, and thank you so much. Okay, Assalamualaikum.
Thank you Raja Edris for the explanation. Assalamualaikum and very good day to everyone. My name is Muhammad Ammar bin Mazrizal and my matrix number 0231113176. I will be presenting the topic type of nonverbal communication. There are 5 main type and I will explain each one with simple example. First, general body language. Body movement can communicate many meanings even without words. For example, when someone keep fidgeting, like swinging their feet or chewing gum, it often shows impatience or disinterest. Body language also help us understand whether someone is engaged in the conversation. So even if a person says they are listening, their body movement may shows otherwise. Second, hand gesture. Hand gesture are one of the most common non-verbal tools. We use our hand to emphasize points, express ideas, or make explanation clear. However, it is important to remember that gesture may have different meanings across culture. When used properly, gesture help strengthen and clarify the message we are trying to send. Third, eyes and facial expression. Facial expression are the fastest way to show emotion. For example, eye rolling usually shows annoyance or boredom. Nodding indicates agreement or understanding. Smiling or frowning reflects strong emotion instantly. The face is one of the most powerful indicators of how someone truly feels, sometimes even more accurate than their words. Fourth, use of space. Proxemics. Proxemics is about how we use and manage personal space. The comfortable space between people depend on culture, personality, and the situation. For instance, personal conversation usually require 18 inches to 4 feet of distance. Speaking to a group generally need 10 to 12 feet. Respecting someone's personal space helps maintain comfort, trust, and effective communication. And lastly, appearance. Our appearance, such as clothing, hairstyle, and the color we wear, also send strong non-verbal message. Research shows that color can influence how others feel and perceive us. Since first impression happen quickly, our appearance often shapes how people judge us before we even speak. Next, we go to the advantage and disadvantage of nonverbal communication. Understanding both sides help us communicate more effectively in daily life. Advantage of nonverbal communication: enhance understanding. Nonverbal cue support spoken message and make the meaning clear. For example, using hand gesture or facial expression help the listener understanding the message better. Second, express emotions instantly. Feelings such as happiness, anger, confusion, or interest appear naturally through facial expression, tone, and body movement. People often understanding emotion without reading any words. Third, quick and continuous. Non-verbal communication happen automatically. Real-time signal like nodding, eye contact, or smiling show immediate feedback to the speaker. 4. Useful when words are not enough. In noisy environment during language barrier or when someone cannot speak, non-verbal signals help communicate meaning effectively. 5th, build relationships. Positive non-verbal behaviors such as good posture, eye contact, and a friendly smile create trust, confidence, and stronger connection between people. Disadvantage of non-verbal communication. First, easy to misinterpret. Different culture and individual may assign different meaning to the same gesture. This can lead to misunderstandings. Second, no formal record. No verbal message cannot be saved, stored, or used as documentation. Unlike written communication, they love official evidence. Third, limited explanation. Complex ideas or detailed information cannot be fully communicated using expression or gesture alone. 4. May contradict verbal message. Sometimes our body language does not match what we say. For example, saying I am fine but looking upset can cause confusion. 5th, influenced by emotion or habits. Uncontrolled action like fidgeting, avoiding eye contact, or slouching might send the wrong message even if the person doesn't intend it. Next, we go to the importance of non-verbal communication in an organization, especially how it supports workplace relationships and improve overall communication. First, strengthen message clarity. Non-verbal cues such as facial expression, tone of voice, and gesture help clarify spoken message. When employees can see the speaker's expression and body movement, they understand the meaning more accurately. Second, show real emotions. Body language often reveal how a person truly feels. This helps managers detect whether employees are confident, confused, stressed, or fully engaged during discussion or meetings. Third, build trust and rapport. Positive non-verbal signals like eye contact, a friendly smile, or an open posture create a comfortable work environment. This behavior helps build trust, reduce tension, and strengthen professional relationship. 4. Provide immediate feedback. Non-verbal reactions such as nodding, smiling, or frowning give the speaker instant feedback. This lets them know if the message is clear or if they need to explain further. 5th, improve teamwork. Effective non-verbal communication such as attentive listening and supportive gesture help team members to cooperate better. It promotes respect, understanding, and smoother collaboration in group tasks. 6. Enhance professional image. Appearance, posture, and dress code represent the professionalism of employees. A positive non-verbal image helps create good impression with clients, partner, and the public. 7. Support communication across language. In diverse workplace, not everyone share the same language. Gesture, facial expression, and body cue help bridge the communication gap and ensure understanding across cultural difference. And lastly, help prevent misunderstandings. Recognize non-verbal signs such as confusion, frustration, and discomfort. Allow issue to be addressed early. This helps prevent conflicts and improve workplace harmony.
For the next slide, with me, Ahmad Baihaqi Assyari bin Khanapiah will present it to you. Okay, I will present what is written communication. What is written communication? Written communication is the exchange of information, ideas, messages, or instructions through the use of written words. It is also a form of verbal communication, which is use word, either spoken or written that relies on text, symbol, and language rules to convey meaning. Examples: emails, report, memos, letters, contracts, manual, policies, instant message, and many more. And many more. Through messages, through apps, or it also considered as a written communication. Okay. Advantages and disadvantages of written communication. Advantages of this type of communication is permanent record. Create a physical or digital record that can be stored, referenced, and can be used as legal evidence or historical proof. Example of contract or the screenshot of the messages. There is a written communication. Okay, and then clarity and precision. The sender has time to draft, review, and revise the message, ensuring it is clear, precise, and less prone to ambiguity before it is sent. Okay. For the next is wide reach. Can be easily distributed to a large number of people across different locations and time zone. Whether you at abroad or different time zone, you have a different time zone with me, I can send a written communication to you by email or by WhatsApp or anything else. Okay. And the next, accountability. Okay, because the message is documented, it helps establish a clear responsibility and accountability for decisions and instruction. Okay. Advantages of written communication is time-consuming. Drafting, editing, and distributing formal written message can take a long time, making it unsuitable for urgent matters. And then for the next, lack of immediate feedback. Unlike a conversation, written communication often has a delay in getting a response, which can slow down decision making. Impersonal. It often lacks a personal touch, emotional context, and a rapport building that comes with face-to-face or oral communication. It's not like when we do the written communication, we just a plain text without the emotion. Okay. And then it costly in traditional form. Costly with it just for traditional form. Whether it is sent by postage or is sent by paper, printing or fax, is cost. It take a cost. Okay. But for nowadays, people usually nowadays use email or use WhatsApp. Also, what is important of written communication in an organization? Okay, is the backbone of modern organization structure and legal compliance, especially policy and uniformity. Okay, it establishes formal policies, rules, and procedures, ensuring consistency and uniformity across the organization. And then for the next, decision records. All major decisions, agreements, and project specifications are documented in writing, providing a clear reference point for future action or legal review. Okay. And the next, building goodwill, professional, clear, and well-written external communication. Example, website content or marketing materials letter to clients build a trust and enhances the company's image. And the next, complex information. It is the best call for conveying complex data, financial report, technical instruction, and detailed explanation that need to be studied carefully. And we take a look summary between written versus non-verbal communication. Written communication is one of the part of verbal communication. Okay. Written communication, it has a word, symbol, and text, while non-verbal communication is body language, gesture, facial expression, eye contact, and touch and tone of voice. Okay, is different. Okay, for the pace, slow and sequential, reading, editing. Okay. And then for the non-verbal communication, it continues, instantaneous, and often simultaneous with verbal speak. For the function, based for conveying facts, data, and detailed information. And then for the non-verbal communication, its function for the best for conveying emotion, attitude, and feelings, and provides context. Okay, the record is permanent and easily achieved for the written communication, but non-verbal communication is temporary. People usually forget, but if you want not to forget when we talk about the when we communicate with the non-verbal communication, we must put the emotion to put people understand what emotion that we send to them. Okay. Intentionality for the written communication, usually high intentional and conscious, and for the non-verbal communication can be both intentional, a formal handshake, and unintentional. So the ultimate conclusion regarding verbal and non-verbal communication is that they are inseparable and interdependent components of effective human interaction. Neither form is completely sufficient on its own, and they work together to create a complete and accurate message. Okay, communication is continuous, multi-channel, and process, and maximizing effectiveness requires being consciously aware of both of what you say and how your body, voice, and expression are communicating. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you for the attention.